Hi guys!
Hey!
Welcome to a Valentine's special.
It's Valentine!
Not that you can see because there's absolutely no Valentine's stuff in it. I wasn't that prepared for this episode, to be fair. Or I did want something. I just looked down and was like, oh, is that a love heart? But it's not as cherries.
I am. I've got more amor, por favor.
Well, you've come all prepped.
Tried, and I went for pink today.
I was going to say that's a little bit different for you.
Yeah, it's a bit much. I'm already regretting it. But
yeah,
I don't think it's going to come off either until like later.
Is it a stain?
Yeah. Well, no, just like a, sort of.
Or
It's
like
just like
stick?
Yeah, like a stick. Like I use the other one, my cheeky one.
Okay, yeah.
That in just a different colour.
Okay.
But it is, I can't actually see myself, but I know it's quite bright.
You're doing that a lot, like.
Yeah, I know it's bright. That's why, and I don't usually wear bright. But yeah, I thought I'd get it. It's better than red. Or it was a bit for my lips, like just coming out in the day.
I really like wearing red lipstick, but at the same time, like it's a lot and it's bright. Like you're saying, I'm like.
I used to wear pink a lot, but like more of like a lighter pink. I think it's probably why I've never wore this. It's probably I put it on. I was like, okay, whoa. But here I am. It's Valentine.
Yeah, are you feeling the love?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I didn't really think about it. I think because it's on just a day for me with football and stuff, and
it is just almost like every
I'm
day.
more
It's not like
I've
a bank holiday
all
or
that
anything.
first. I think it's different when you're younger and you've got that's kind of the only thing that you've got to kind of do.
I think when you're young and when you're in an early part of a relationship, it can be really lovely. Yeah. Like it is more of a thing. Whereas I think, 20 years deep.
Yeah.
It's less of a thing.
Yeah, and again, I'm not, especially Mitch makes loads of effort and it's lovely for me and Lexi.
Okay. Not the boys, just the girls.
No, not the boys, actually. It's funny you say that because Morgan did go, Dad gets like Lexi something. Can you get me something? And I was like, okay, this is just going way far now. Kids are just taking over everything, aren't they? But I'm sure
kids never used to be. Well, I think kids were never involved.
Getting involved in everything.
But having said that, when I was younger, my mum and dad would get me like a card or like a little snow globe, or like they would get me something
like a little white teddy with a red heart. I don't know. I know what you mean.
Yeah.
But when he said it, I was just like, yeah, all right. But I'm sure last year I got them saying this. Don't really help myself. I'm sure I got them like a little Valentine's basket thing.
Yeah.
But I'm presuming that was because it did. The day fell on a Friday. I didn't have much to do. I obviously had the time to kind of sort it all out, and lay it out, and all this kind of like Insta TikTok style.
Yeah.
And I did that last year, so I think they're expecting this. It's not going to happen.
I think I did it for Kayson 1 year, but literally 1 year, and I'm pretty sure it was before Hayden. And I got him like, I think I just went to like Flying Tiger and got like,
bits.
Little bits. Yeah, I think he was into like rainbows, so he had rainbow socks and like different things like that, which was cute. But yeah, I'm kind of feeling like I need to do something.
Well,
it's like tomorrow, and I haven't done anything.
Well, I would put something in their lunchbox, even if it's on a little bit of post-it note thing, and just put like a heart and
that's cute.
Yeah, something like that. Or if it fell on Valentine's Day, they were there again. It would, and they were in school. I would do like a little chocolate heart in their lunchbox. Mm-hmm. Not now for obviously Morgan and that, because I think he'd probably be devastated. But he'd definitely like it when he got home.
Yeah, you know what I mean? He appreciates it. Just don't embarrass me in front of my friends, all right?
Yeah, he definitely wouldn't want to miss out. But yeah, imagine like getting your lunch out or something. He won't even take a lunchbox now. It's just a, like a baguette or something like that.
Yeah,
like, you want a box or something? It's no, it's fine. All right.
So it is more of like a thing for the girls in your house.
Yeah,
which is nice, I think, because it shows like, was it chivalry?
I don't know.
When like men with good manners that open the door for you and like open your
and it's just nice. It's not a thing of like, do you know what I mean? I just think it's nice, Yeah.
And I don't think you have to spend a lot. Like I think I spent like a tenner on Kayson that year.
That's what I mean. I mean, like even going.
I don't expect big presents.
Even
for Valentine's.
with me and Mitch, I don't. I'd more think about what you've spent. In anything else. I've said it before. Just like my birthday and things like that, like coffee in bed. Do you know what I mean? Literally a card, homemade preferably, because how expensive things
cards are ridiculous.
Things like
Since
that.
When do cards cost like €3-4?
It is. So things like that, I just think they mean more. Like they put more personal touch. It is. Going back to it, I know it is different when you're younger. I think it is more of like you feel like you need to spend so much to make it
it's
good. And
you think it's more of like the value in the gift.
Yeah, that's it. It's a weird thing, isn't it?
And as you get older, you do it
sometimes,
different.
But you know,
there are couples out there that spend a lot of money and expect a lot on a Valentine's Day. But yeah, like you say, I think I'd rather, show me all year something a little, different on Valentine's Day, like even if it was just a handwritten note. Liam used to write me loads of notes when we were younger, and cards and stuff. Even on the back of a dentist appointment, you don't have to spend a $5 on a bloody card.
It's true. It's just taking that time, just like on Mother's Day, Father's Day, whatever
it is,
that counts. just to remind yourselves.
But I think it takes you like maturity to realise that, whereas as kids it's less.
I mean, some of the ideas Mitch has come out with, I'm like, who do you think you are? Are you like a billionaire or something? And also, you don't need to. It's lovely, like it's so lovely. Do you know what I mean? But first of all, she's not that kind of a girl to expect, whatever you're thinking of, and you don't need all that. You're putting yourself pressure on yourself.
Do you know what I like that I've seen dads do, where it's like take them out for a date or something. It's like it doesn't even have to be like a new outfit, but like there's an outfit, be ready, or sort your own outfit, be ready at 6.
Exactly.
I'll take you out, and then it doesn't even have to be anything. But I think treating them like little ladies.
I like the idea of how Mitch does do it with Lexi, and that is a nice idea for the dads to do it with their daughters. I'm probably not so much going to do it with the boys. And I do think you've got, especially, it's what I mean. I don't mean kids shouldn't have it, but at the end of the day, this is about, I feel it's about couples. To be fair. It's about your Valentine, isn't it? When you're younger, it's about your crush. It's about, that's, I think anyway.
No, it's true. Because, little things like that, for years, me and Liam haven't bothered, the odd year, maybe like say something little like chocolates or things that, lollies that I know that he likes and stuff, silly little nice things that are the thought. But as I'm kind of getting a bit older and Kayson's getting a bit older, I'm starting to think, should Liam actually make more of an effort to do those things kind of like every year, not spend much, but just even like for my last birthday, I said to Liam, don't just go get me something, take Kayson with you and let him like be with you, because he's getting to the age where he needs to start seeing the effort that Liam is very thoughtful. Yeah. But if you're always doing it and he doesn't see it, then he won't be thoughtful.
I suppose mine, I've done that anyway. I've kind of done it without knowing I'm doing it. Yeah. Does that make sense? Yeah. In them situations. So with like that, if Mitch goes out for the boy, it's like a team effort of going to do it, whatever it is. You know what I mean?
Well, even the other week, I dragged Kayson out because obviously Liam's birthday was only 2 weeks ago, and I wasn't really going to get him much, to be fair, because we've got lots of things coming up anyway, and we just bought tickets to go back to England for Neo and Akon. So I was like, ooh. So I was like, we don't really need to overspend, better to spend it, like say when you need and want something. But I was like, oh, okay, so let's go to the little corner shop. Let's at least get him some chocolate and stuff. Got to the corner shop and it was closed. Oh, so I was like, Kayson, we're gonna have to go. Like, so we popped ahead and I was like, just taking the car keys. And then we went on a little mission and ended up getting him like a new man bag, because he wears bags, and his is a bit old now. So I got him a new man bag and a couple of nice t-shirts and stuff. But yeah, it was nice to take him out and let him see that.
Yeah, have that memory of going to good doing it. Yeah, it's nice. Again, I've obviously done it without knowing I'm doing it, but just because they go and do it together. Yeah.
Kayson did make me laugh the other day. He was like, so seeing as Valentine's Day is coming up, that's actually how he talks. I was like, yeah. He was like, I think I might ask his crush to be his Valentine. I said, yeah, okay. I was like, normally like you get like a little card and you ask them to be your Valentine and maybe like a little gift, and then they say yes or no. And then he was like, I've changed my mind. Oh. I went, why? In case she says no. And he went, yeah. I went, she's not going to say no. And I said, even if she does, like, it's a nice little gesture. Like, no matter what happens, you should still do something if you want to do it. Trying to, give a life lesson. And he was just like, nah, I'm over it now.
Forget it.
For God's sake.
It's very much like that, isn't it? If he thinks, like no certain design. I forget.
Yeah, but I was all like, oh, that's nice. I was like, I'll take you out. And because it's on Saturday and they go to drama together, I was like, oh, you'll see her on Saturday as well. So like on Friday, we'll get something little and, you can give it to her. And then he was like, nah. And I was like, you don't have to give it to her in front of everyone. You can just, do it just you two. He was like, nah.
Completely. But saying that, going back to obviously like with the school, like school times, you know what I mean? Like when you get Valentine's cards and it's a question mark and you don't know who it is, but you definitely know who it's from.
Do you remember one year when we were at school and there was 2 boys that got us gifts and did they give you or me a lighter?
Yeah, I think it was you. I don't know why you got the lighter, but anyway.
I remember that.
But I also thought they obviously thought about what
it was actually thoughtful, but it was a lighter, but it like chocolates and everything else that. But a little lighter.
But it is going back, and even before, like for example, these ours are in primary school. Well, your oldest, my youngest. But I've had that experience recently with Lexi, bless her. So, I hope she don't mind me talking actually about this. She's got a crush, and so she's had an experience of someone else having a crush on her.
Oh, I remember this.
But her just wanting to be
friends.
So so Lexi's had experience. She has a crush.
Yeah.
But she had an experience that someone had a crush on her.
Yeah.
But she didn't feel the same. She just wanted to be friends with them.
Oh, bless her.
And that really
that was well out there.
That really kind of upset her because she didn't want to upset the person who had a crush on her.
Oh, she didn't want to hurt his feelings.
Yeah.
I've been in that situation a few times. It's horrible.
Yeah, but she still wanted to be friends and she didn't want it to change anything. Do you know what I mean?
Which is really hard because at that age you just feel so awkward.
Yeah, and I think she really got upset about it, bless her. But then I was also trying to explain to her that it also shows you haven't got to just do something because you feel sorry for someone or whatever the situation. You've got to
keep other people's feelings in mind, but you can't. Yeah, you can't. You're not responsible.
And that's
for other
not
people.
just for that. That goes for everything. So do you know what I mean? Whether it's friendships, anything. Do you know what I mean? You've got to feel the same, otherwise it's not whatever. But obviously she's very young for this sort of shit. But anyway, I remember it so well when you're that age, it's everything, isn't it?
Oh, it's the whole world.
It is. So now she has a crush, bless her.
Oh.
And it was so cute the other day. She came home and said that they were playing like hide and seek and whatever. And she couldn't see the people who were supposed to be like tagging her or finding her or whatever. And her crush kind of came behind her and put her arm around her and kind of pointed to where she should see where the people are. And she was like, oh, you touched me. like that kind of extreme kind of feeling, bless her. So she's been all prepared to take a little something in. She wanted to get like a little gift and a card. Again, just something little. And had Mitch around Mercadona smelling all the colognes, as she calls them. So she was all prepared to take a little gift and a card. And last night she had an accident with her big brother and she's really hurt her foot, so she didn't go to school. So she wasn't able to go and give it to him, which she was absolutely gutted about, bless her. It's fine anyway. You've got Monday. I was like, it's
not
Valentine's
the same.
Between. I get what she's trying to say, but so it's all ready to take Monday. But just going back to how it, when you're younger, it's more of like
it is a huge thing, like
a butterfly feeling, isn't it? Like
because at Lexi's age, when we were at school, you would get like a card with a question mark, and it'd be like, "Who is it?" Whereas now, I don't feel like it is hidden. You openly kind of ask people to be your Valentine, or you make it known. Whereas when we were kids, I was like, oh, "I got 3 Valentine's cards. Who are they from?"
Yeah, and I think just because the way just society and everything is now, there are so much more extreme stuff. Back then it wasn't so that, was it? No, but the things that you can see now happening, which is lovely. Again, I sound so miserable with stuff, don't I? But it's just not for me. Obviously it's lovely to get a nice bunch of flowers and, and whatever. But I wouldn't want some of the stuff I see, like I'm just like.
The over the top.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of the time, I saw this on another podcast, the the couples that make the biggest grand gestures generally tend to be the ones who like
counteracts for
don't actually have you know, much going on, or actually on the verge of breaking up, and they do tend to break up. The ones who post so much about each other and talk about each other online a lot, tend to be
I think for me it's that. I think what I would love more than anything is some time, go for a walk, watch a film, like that's
the free stuff.
Yeah, it's lovely going for a dinner and things like that. Honestly, it is. It's lovely. But what do we really enjoy most? Yeah. And that would be it, you know? Yeah. So
but it's funny you say that.
I'm lucky enough to be, you know, shown
those things
near enough weekly, every, you know, daily, whatever. So it's nice to have that extra special day, definitely.
Yeah. But like I say, I don't think it has to be the big day that it, the little things count more. And even before we started recording, I was trying to do a love language test, which took me like 15 minutes, even though it said it was 5 minutes. And then at the end, it didn't give me the results because it wanted me to pay for it, because I wanted to find out.
To see what you was.
But a lot of the questions were, would you prefer a gift, or would you prefer to go for a walk? Would you prefer quality time, or would you prefer, you know, things? And I think we're in quite a similar situation, whereas I wouldn't describe Liam as the most romantic person, but when I actually list like the little things that he does on a regular basis, they are really thoughtful and loving, and I suppose it is romantic.
Then exactly that, because then imagine you the whole year you don't really get any acknowledgement or appreciation or just anything, you know, that sort of anything. Yeah. And then all of a sudden on Valentine's Day you get all this massive faff and you think, where does that come from?
Like I say, I would much prefer my cup of tea made every morning, come home from the shops with, oh, I saw this, I thought you'd like it. Random text compliments or in-person compliments and like you say, affection, then a designer bag once a year.
Exactly, yeah. And a little gesture on your anniversaries and Valentine's Day. Yeah, of course.
I want some gifts. Because it's Valentine's Day. I'm not saying no gifts ever.
No. But for me personally, like you said, I think we're on the same thing. All that would be...
Well, if you add it all up, there's just too many bloody celebrations all year. Everyone would be broke.
Yeah.
Like you say, birthdays and anniversaries are much more important because they're personal. Valentine's Day, you know, it is the day of love, but like you say, it's just a day that, you know, shops make a lot of money.
Yeah, it is the day of love.
So give me a handmade card and my favourite chocolate or something, and be done with it.
Yeah. But when you say it's the day of love, I think it is more focused on a couple thing, you know, because when you say what is love.
Yeah. Well, we were saying this before we started, there's all different types, because I love some of my friends. I love my family, Liam, my kids. They're all different loves in different ways.
Exactly that. Yeah. So if anyone was to, you know, question me what is love, well, who? Love who? Because then I'd probably explain it a different way for each different person. So if
Lexi was to say, what does it mean to be in love, like with a partner? How would you explain love?
Well, I suppose, a partner. So love generally is still a feeling.
Yeah.
It's a feeling. So say it's just like saying you're angry. It's a feeling. It's like a bit of an emotion, isn't it? Is that the right word to use? So as much as you would kind of be, you know, angry, you can love. Yeah. You know, so it's a feeling of love, but it's also a feeling of it's a positive feeling. I think it's not a negative feeling, and it's more of a feeling of care. Like it's a lot of different things, isn't it? I suppose if you think about it, because you can't just
like
love
the umbrella. With loads of things.
You can't just love without other things. But also, I think that you can not have some of the things and still love someone, and probably not want to love them. Yeah, but you can't help that. Yeah. Does that make sense?
Yeah, definitely. Because, you know, we just said love's positive, but when you love someone, if they love you back, that can be fantastic. And that is, I think, what everybody wants. But there are situations where you love someone and it's not, they don't love you in the same way back, and then it's toxic. And
well, it's not what love is. Yeah, is it? It's like when
you
people
still
say,
love someone when you're not actually getting it.
Yeah, it's what I mean. So you could all these things happening or whatever. Oh, but they love me. Well, they can't love you because they wouldn't do those things if they loved you.
Yeah, they say they love you, but their actions don't show it.
Exactly, you know. Yeah. So
I think that's good to say. Like, love is a feeling, but being loved is almost, you know, it is about, you know, loving other people, but also being loved. And it's not just what you say to someone, and it's how you make them feel, and that's with all your behaviors and your actions.
Yeah.
So you can say it as much as you want, but I think what's really important to teach, you know, not just girls but boys, is, you know, do people back up what they say? Because you know, words are easy, but it's the actions that show you the truth.
Exactly that. And again, partners was one thing, but love can come in so many different ways. You know what I mean? Like you say, how we love our parents to how we love our partners, completely different. How we love our partner to how we love our children is completely different. We've had this conversation before of what was the question? Who would you say first? Was it? You know what I mean? It does.
That guy was like, "I'll save my wife. I can have more kids."
You know, like you do love, and our friends and all these you know, pets even.
Yeah.
You know,
I do think that the love that you have between you and your partner is probably, I don't know how to explain it, whether it's the biggest love or the most impactful love, because it is ultimately the biggest decision you're ever going to make, who you're going to choose to spend life with, because that depends on the whole trajectory of your life, who you choose to partner with. But obviously, if you lose your partner, that's your complete other half that you do life with. That is a huge hole. And I'm not saying losing anybody else would be not as bad, but that's the person that you spend the most time with, that you use to do life with, make decisions together, support each other. Like, it is a very different love.
I suppose it's more,
the most impactful, maybe.
I know friendship is too, but it's one of the only loves we kind of choose.
I've seen that before, and I like that,
because you're born into everything else, and everything else is kind of made that way.
Your parents love you because they're your parents. Your siblings love you because you're their siblings. Your friends, you can kind of choose, but that is, like I say, a different level of love. But your partner is the person who's chosen you for you, with no conditions or strings attached. So I do really love that. I think that is really nice.
Yeah, and again, I think I've heard it a lot. You can love someone but not be in love with someone.
I agree with that. I think they're two different types, loving someone and being in love. I think that's probably what happens a lot with long relationships. Sometimes bad things happen and, you know, it has to end. But for those where there's probably a lot of people where you just gradually drift apart, and you love them, but you're not in love with them anymore. And I think you have to really make the effort to stay in love with someone.
Yeah, and get that spark, or remember where that came from. Yeah. Sometimes it does kind of, you know, come back, and sometimes it just doesn't, whether that's just because
even if you
of
want
time,
it to,
age, or you've grown out of that.
Or you've changed so much that you're not actually each other's kind of vibe anymore.
Yeah, exactly. So it can change as well, can't it?
Yeah. Well, another thing that I thought was quite interesting is love languages, which you said you didn't actually know about before we started. So I've heard of it, and I'm sure, you know.
Don't blame it. That's what
back in the day, doing like the magazine quizzes, like you would have. You probably would have done that.
Yes or no? Yeah. Is that what you mean? When you get yes or no, you have to go down and then.
Exactly. Yeah. So it would have definitely been on there. You probably would have done it. I'm sure it's like a Cosmo Girl kind of type quiz.
I can't think what I had, but
So generally, I mean, there's loads of different things, but generally the consensus is there's 5 love languages.
Okay.
And it's how you like to be loved. Right. And I think what some couples fall in the trap of is, I love Liam like I like to be loved, but Liam likes to be loved in a different way, maybe.
Yeah.
So you actually have to know each other's love language that you do that. Because you can love them with all the feelings and the actions, but you might miss, because there are different types of love that we like to receive. So words of affirmation. So these are, more verbal compliments, appreciation, encourage, written notes. It's all about words of affirmation.
That's one love language.
That's one love language. The other is quality time. So this is undivided attention, engaging in shared activities, doing things together, meaningful conversations without distractions. That's another type. Another is physical touch. So that's through physical gestures, holding hands, hugging, kissing, cuddling, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Acts of service demonstrates affection by doing things that ease the other partner's burden. So helping with chores that they know you don't like, helping with the cooking, running errands for you, anything that can make your life easier, and they do the tasks. So that's acts of service. And then receiving gifts. So involves thoughtful, tangible tokens that show partners that they were thought of, focusing on the gesture rather than the monetary value. So not big gifts like we were just talking about, but actually thoughtful gifts. So yeah, they're the 5 types.
I get the acts of service makes me feel like it's like a little Joey for you, like, you know, like the way it says it.
Yeah,
we are definitely like that as a couple. But I feel like, I don't know, because I'd probably have to do the test. I think
I need to do the test.
I would be the time one. Is it the quality one?
Quality time.
That would be me, I think.
Yeah.
I think because we just don't get it, you know, and even when we do get it, we're not really using it properly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
yeah, because this is
I
not
like that.
We spend a lot of time together, but the quality time is like no distractions,
yeah,
you know, focused in on each other.
We got this thing ages ago, actually, which we will start. It's like a calendar thing, and you've got to like scrape it like a scratch card. You got to like scratch it off each month, and each month has got like a something to do.
That's cool. I
basically like a date calendar in a way.
Yeah,
sort of like that.
With ideas.
I'm sure February was like, I don't know if January or February was like go ice skating. The next one was like start a dance class. You know, like something like that. Or do a dance class or something like that. You know what I mean?
I did hear,
because it's hard. It falls out. You fall out of doing those things. You end up just going for dinner.
I did hear that one of like a relationship expert said one of the best things that you could do to keep that freshness and connection is to do new things together or to go to new places together. When you experience something new together, it's memories, it's laugh, and it's love, and I think that's really good.
Yeah, I do. I think as well with just how parent life is with children, like I say, everything's around them and their hobbies or parties or you know, their schedules, should we say? Do you know what I mean? So even you know, if we never just take that time out for we've got a class or we're going to play paddle or we're going, do you know, for example.
And do you think Mitch is the same? He would pick quality time too, or do you think he prefers to receive love in a different way?
No, I think he would be the same. Don't ask Mitch what he wants to receive. That's open another can of worms. No, I think he'd be the same, to be fair, because we really like each other's company as well. So it's nice just to get that time together without having a conversation without obviously being interrupted. Or that the quality time.
It's hard because
we wouldn't get.
I like all of them, and I think I would need all of them in a relationship. But yeah, there's definitely some that I prefer more than others. I quite like words of affirmation. Yeah. Liam's quite good at like just messaging me like throughout the day, like random like compliments and things, and like say I really like when he writes me notes and things. And
to be fair, I get a bit of all of them, so I'm very lucky.
I think you do need a bit of all of it.
And again, people, but like you say, people, I don't know, enjoy or their relationship works better or whatever. They because that's what they like is more of one of. Some people like being showered with gifts. That's that to them's being shown that they're loved. For example,
well, that's it. And I think I've read of couples that are struggling where they think they're showing love to their partner, but their partner doesn't feel loved because I need to be told that you love me and what you appreciate about me and that you encourage me and you support me. But you don't do that because you buy me gifts. So that can be a mismatch, and it doesn't mean that you don't love each other. It's just that you're showing it to the other person in a way that they don't receive love. Yeah,
so. I laughed a few years ago, Mitch. I don't get like sexy pics of Mitch or anything like that. I get Mitch like selfie, just washing up. Selfie, just hanging and washing out.
I've seen videos of guys doing that. Do you want to turn your wife on? Go do some chores.
That's what I get. It makes me laugh. That's about it. No, I'm joking. But again, people need... Me and Mitch are quite easy. But then again, are we just... Is it because we have it... Yeah, you know, and it's there now, and this is it.
It's true. I think we're quite easy as well. But I think the more you understand yourself, the more
it's easier to know what to tell them what you want.
I even watched a podcast even with like a sex expert, and it was like, oh, we were married for 10 years before I actually started to ask myself and learn about even just how the female body works. So I don't know any of that stuff really, like the basics, but until you like learn about yourself, what you like, what you don't like, and then you have honest conversations,
how can you expect anyone else to?
It
is that, isn't it? I suppose.
So
it's a good thing to know if you want to sit for a test and pay €2. I'm joking.
I'm sure there's free ones out there. That bloody test. Okay. Do you think love is different to kind of what you thought it was going to be when you were a teenager?
Well, I've been with Mitch since I was a teenager.
Yeah, but like before getting into a relationship, like kind of what you thought being an adult in a relationship
was. Is it different now to what I thought it was? Is that the question? No, no, because I think, well, I suppose it depends, because when you're younger, like I say, I don't know, I was like, they should shower you with gifts and they should, be like a prince to you. It's a weird thing, isn't it, how you are?
Yeah.
And then obviously when you are it feels a bit like, you don't want all that. You just want to be used together sort of thing. Not like this princess, in a way. I know, again, some relationships are like that. It's just, obviously, I think that's maybe what
And I think that just comes from maturing.
Maybe
I think you probably enjoyed that when you were a teenager.
I think maybe that's what it was when I was younger, was that. Whereas, really, I think it's just about being a good couple, a team, and all of that comes with that, of team and love and all, like you say, that umbrella, and it is, and along with that, we're parents. And for me, he's the best dad, and that's something
that's like another level of love, isn't it, when you then see them become dads?
Watching him and seeing him and being such a good dad, and how the kids literally adore him as their dad and are so proud for their dad. I don't think you can get much better than that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So even if we wasn't in a relationship, if that makes sense, that enough is for me to, again, love him that way, and then you've got the side of, well, I said it the other week, didn't it? You've got to want to sit on their face, girl, on his face, girl. Like that kind of thing. It is that thing, and I'm so lucky. Yeah. Well, we are both so lucky that he still get that feeling for me, and I still get that feeling for him. Because can you imagine if we didn't?
No, I do. I do think that sometimes with, like, when you see headlines of couples breaking up, and even just in people that breaking up, and I do think to myself, like, oh, I'm so lucky, like I'm so glad that's not me.
And I can understand why it happens, because
totally
these things,
and sometimes it is for the best. I'm just so glad that we both 20 years later still want to be in it. And I think that is another big thing with love, is that you both need to want it. And I think it's really sad when you do see one side of the relationship kind of giving up, and it's always the other person who's like, really trying to push in. And it's like, I even watched something. What were we watching? I think me and Liam we've run out of like series, so we're rewatching Ghost. You probably haven't seen it.
I don't know. Is it not a film?
No, it's a series.
With the...
Oh, it's not called Ghost. It's called Power.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. The guy's character's called Ghost because he's a drug dealer, so his name's Ghost. But he's happily married with a wife, 3 kids. He's a drug dealer on one side. He's got a nightclub and he's trying to go like clean or whatever, legit. And then he bumps into a woman, or he was in love with as a teenager. But then they moved away, and then they had separate lives, and they hadn't seen each other in like 10, 15 years. Then they bump into each other, and obviously all those feelings come back. And then it's like he like starts having an affair and then comes home and acts so completely normal. And honestly, it just gets me in the gut.
Like, it really pisses me off.
How can people just do that, like, to someone that they still love, and she hasn't done anything wrong, gives you everything, and it's just not enough.
Yeah. Again, I think I'm lucky where, well, me and Mitch are getting married on our 20-year anniversary, for fuck's sake. Do you know what I mean? I'm not saying we haven't been through shit, because fuck yeah, we have. Do you know what I mean? I don't think we'd be normal not to. Yeah. And we've been through shit that some people in 60 years of marriage haven't even been through. Do you get what I mean? So we've definitely got through it.
Yeah.
But where we're getting married, you know, where people usually obviously get married in the first couple of years of being together or whatever, obviously we're not. It's 20 years later, yet we are still feeling like kind of kids again in a way, you know. But again, we always feel like that, but we're so excited. Oh, we're getting married. Yeah, we've been together 20 years, but oh, we're getting married. Yeah, you know, it is. I think it's good. I say we're lucky. It's a really stupid word to use, isn't it? But in a way,
I think in a way it is luck, because you can't ever know when you meet someone how long it's going to last. So in a way it's luck, but I think that's probably 5% of it. When you actually think what makes a relationship, it's all the stuff that you put into it. Yeah. And we wouldn't be sat here in 20-year relationships if we didn't really work on it. And luckily, like you say, the person who you've chosen to really put the time and the effort in and love and, you know, grow that life with still wants to do it with you.
Does that back too.
Yeah.
And it still does want to.
Because it's not easy, like you say, and there is a lot of ups and downs that people don't see. But yeah, it's just still the willingness to show up for each other and still have like that love and respect for each other.
Yeah, because you've got love and then you've got heartbreak.
Yeah.
Which is a whole nother level, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, like, again, the heartbreak in different ways, but it's from loving someone that you can be heartbroken, I suppose, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Again, in many different ways, whether it's partners, families, pets, whatever it is. Yeah, I'm trying to say.
Well, they say that you can't you like I don't know what the saying is for a change. I don't actually know what the word is. But it's like lucky to have loved in the first place anyway, than to not have at all.
Yeah. But how hard it can hit, whether it's loving or heartbreaking, isn't it? It's such a powerful feeling.
I've never felt heartbreak from a relationship, but I've been around people that have obviously gone through that, and it looks very brutal.
Yeah.
What do you think? Like, how has love changed from when you was a teenager till now? So we've touched a little bit on like the love changes when, you know, you reach different levels of like life and then you have kids and stuff. But yeah, how do you think it's different now to when it was when you first met?
Probably just, again, being more realistic and more mature. Things, you know, your mind changes, doesn't it? Or your expectations or whatever it is. It's hard for me to say because obviously we were parents from so young. So I feel like we didn't get
the couple time.
That bit in a way. Although we obviously still would celebrate. We still had a life as a child.
It's a long side,
isn't it?
It is different.
It is. And I think it's probably just more that it's of you just mature and you don't.
Do you think the saying of like more in love now than before?
Yeah. Definitely. For me,
and that you fall in love with that person multiple times.
Yeah, I feel like that.
Yeah,
definitely. For me and my relationship, anyway. I don't know about you.
Yeah, no, I agree, because I think, you know, as you go through different like milestones, whether it's years, whether it's, you know, like buying houses, having kids, you know,
exactly,
career changes, life, unexpected things. Like when you support, and I think actually the love grows even more when you go through more shit.
Yeah.
Like, it's great to celebrate good stuff, but I think the love when you've gone through shit, if you get through it together, then that becomes even stronger.
Yeah, because again, it's about action showing, isn't it, in a way, rather than
showing up for each other.
Yeah. That would be for me, where it's just growing up, maturing, and things kind of, again, life experiences. Yeah, would definitely have made every day more and more, 1,000,000%.
Yeah, I agree. So let's play a game.
Yay, I like this bit.
A couples game.
I feel like we need like a game. Come on, Liam, give us a game. What's the word? Theme tune. It's the game time.
Jazz hands. So this is kind of like the games that we played before, but it's between, instead of because we did a little game that we posted the other day with me and you.
Yes.
This is between like you and Mitch and me and Liam.
Okay, right.
So, who is more romantic?
Mitch. 1,000,000% Mitch.
Really?
Yeah. Mitch is so much more like romantic. Definitely.
I would say me,
Mm-hmm.
I think, in more of like a romantic gesture.
Yeah.
But I think Liam is more romantic in all the little things.
Yeah.
He's more thoughtful.
Yeah.
So
I would just point blank say Mitch, to be fair. Yeah.
Who apologises first?
Oh.
Liam.
Oh, is it? You, Leo. Oh, I think that's a hard one for me.
He always says I don't apologise. I do apologise.
If you're in the wrong.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm not going to apologise.
I was just about to say, the reason I got is because Mitch finds it quite hard to accept if he is in the wrong.
Yeah.
Is that you?
Probably. Probably.
Just as you were saying, you look like you got a guilty face there.
Yeah.
Am I explaining you?
Yeah, no, Liam will say that I don't apologise, and I do, but just very rarely.
Yeah. Yeah, I suppose what was the question? Who
apologises first?
Yeah, me. Yeah. And then if Mitch does, he has to make his big hoo-ha. All right, I'm sorry. I just say sorry then. Make a big thing about it. A medal.
Liam does that to me. Just say sorry. Just do it. It's fine. It's easy. I'm like, no. The more you push, the more I'm not going to do it. Who holds grudges longer? Definitely me.
I'm gonna say me. Probably me.
Yeah.
Yeah. It depends what week is, to be fair. If I'm due on or that kind of thing, I can be a little fucking bitch. So
yeah.
But I also do put it out there to tell everybody. Just so
Warning.
You know. I do.
Warning.
I actually do, because I do think some people look at me and think, whoa, what? All right. Like, and I know it. You know what I mean? So probably me, especially if I was.
When I was younger, oh my God. Like, I've definitely got better as I've got older. I definitely like get over things much faster. But when I was younger, I could not talk to him for like a whole day.
Yeah. Yeah, a day.
Maybe a few. I was trying to be nice.
And then he would need to shower me with
then he would have to apologise, even though it was probably me. Who plans date nights?
We don't really have date nights.
Yeah.
More Mitch, if anything.
I don't think ours are that planned. Sometimes it's like an accident, or someone offers to, like, say, have the boys, or like, oh, we'll go for dinner and we'll sort it.
Exactly.
But it's not really on either of us.
No, I wouldn't. Yes. If more anyone, again, more Mitch, because he might organise for, or his mum's asked to have the kids or something.
So then he's like, well, let's do something then.
Yeah. And he knows, he says it, and I know because it's true. He knows, it's a joke now. He's like, we're not going to go out, are we? We're not going anywhere. We're just going to end up staying in.
We'll just chill.
Because either we can't decide where to go. That's probably, you know what we're like. We can't actually know where to go. Or I just rather, especially like this time of year, I just want to get all snuggly. And
sometimes it's nice to actually be in the house without the noise.
Yeah.
So no, I agree with that. It doesn't always have to be a night out.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, we're probably the same. Liam has planned a couple. Yeah, one he planned that was out of the blue, and he didn't tell me where we were going, what we were doing. He got us tickets to go to the cinema to watch Top Gun Maverick, the new Top Gun film.
That's nice.
That was a really cool day. I liked that. I really enjoyed that movie. That was a great movie.
It's just nice and it's exciting, things like that, I suppose.
The fact he said it like at the beginning of the day and was like, you got to wait and wouldn't tell me.
I feel like I'm really bad now, because I feel like Mitch is going to maybe hear it, probably, and then think, I've done this and I've done this. And
it's hard to remember in the moment.
He's definitely done a lot, but I just can't actually think. He might have even done the whole, when you put an outfit out and you say dinner at 7 or whatever kind of thing back in the day.
Yeah.
Where we've hinted.
Yeah. No, that's, yeah.
But yeah.
Who's more likely to forget an anniversary?
Ooh.
Liam. Well, if it's our wedding anniversary, both of us. But actual, like, in terms of...
I'm going to say Mitch.
Yeah.
I'm going to say Mitch.
Liam's just not good with dates and stuff.
The anniversary, I don't think he'd forget, to be fair, unless he just didn't know what the date was.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I'm very good with dates. Saying that, I think this...
It's because you're very good with, like, diaries and calendars.
Yeah, I am.
And also...
It's that thing in my head, though.
Yeah.
But saying that, I did it the other day with our friend. It was like 11:30 at night, and I must have just not wrote the date or seen the date, because I know if I'd seen the date, it was the first thing I would have thought of would have been our friend's birthday.
Yeah. And
it wasn't until 11:30 at night, I think I went like that, like you lock your phone, see the time or whatever. See the time, I was like, fuck. Like, I haven't even wished happy birthday or nothing. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, shit.
Some days, like you say, the days go and you don't even know what day it is. Yeah, I get that. Who's more flirty?
Oh, Mitch. Definitely Mitch.
Yeah, I'd say Liam.
Yeah, Mitch is. We've got this joke actually. I don't even know when to say it. So Mitch does this thing, right? He just has this face on him, and I'm like, what? And he's like, so imagine. I was just thinking. No, sorry. This is what he does. So I go, what's wrong? He's like, and then he'll go. So I was just thinking. Imagine if, and then it'll just be this real, like, exaggerate thing of something sexual.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Imagine if she just did this. Imagine if she just did that. Imagine if, you know, like, and we're.
She or you?
No, me. Like me. He's looking at me, obviously. Imagine if she just, I don't know, whatever. And while we're cooking or we're dinner, it's not like we're in a moment.
Random.
Yeah, it's very random. So he's got a little gap, hasn't he, on like where he needs to finish his tail. I was like, you're gonna have to put imagine in it because all these things
it starts with imagine.
Literally, so I was just thinking, imagine. But yeah, no, flirt-wise, yeah, definitely.
I definitely wouldn't say I'm flirty at all.
You're not?
No.
No.
I think Liam would like me to be more flirty. Yeah. Because, I think it's just easy for guys. Everything's a bloody sexual innuendo.
It is. It ends
just
up
so
being.
easy for them.
And again, but that's quite nice.
Yeah.
Sometimes, I think I may have used to get like a bit fed up. Not fed up, but like...
Yeah.
kind of thing.
I did actually. I was scrolling through Facebook and it came up on like one of the mother groups where people just put in for advice, and it was a woman that was like, I'm sick to death of my husband and like everything, I can't even look his way, and it's like, oh, you know, everything is a sexual joke to the point like I don't even want to look his way. Like it's put me so off. And I think with a guy, I mean, it's just like they're always bloody turned on. It's so easy. Whereas with a woman, you have to be in the mood, and it is a lot more about like your emotional connection. And yeah, sometimes you are in the mood, and most of the time you're not.
Yeah.
But when it's like constant, like that would drive me crazy.
Yeah, I suppose. But for me,
you just feel like a bit of meat. Like, do you even like me, or am I just like
am I a thing?
A blow up doll?
Yeah. Am I just holes or whatever?
Yeah. Like, but at the same time, if I had none,
that's it.
It's like I saw a thing and it was like, you know, when like you get slapped on the arse or like you can't even walk up the stairs without putting your hands behind you. And I was like, yeah, every now and then, like if Liam does slap me on the arse, I'm like, oh, ow, or whatever. And then he's like, yeah, but you moan if I wouldn't. And I'm like, it's true. I would moan if
saying
you
that
didn't.
I had to stop that years ago. No, I had to ask Mitch to stop that years ago because the boys were copying it.
Yeah.
And I was like they can't do that to me. Like,
yeah, they get into the ages like it's not appropriate.
No, so like, yeah, let's not.
We don't want no Victoria bloody Brooklyn Beckhams in here.
Oh God, that'll be another conversation for another day, actually.
Oh God, we haven't actually spoke about that, no. Who gets more jealous? I'm definitely more jealous.
I probably could have answered that bit. Oh, we're probably a bit on par. Not that we've got a problem, but like, I don't know how to say. I'd probably say maybe Mitch at a push a bit more.
Yeah.
But there's not really. I'm trying to think what.
But you're not on a scale that jealous as a couple.
No. We know it's not what to.
I'm definitely nowhere near as bad now as I used to be.
Yeah.
I'm definitely like hyper jealous.
I probably could be. That's what I mean. It's more of like
mellowed.
Yeah. Yeah.
We've mellowed as we got older.
Probably could be, yeah.
But no, I mean Liam is like not jealous on like the whole other end of the scale. Like
I want you to be jealous.
To the point of like, can you be just a little bit, please? Like
I love that though.
Like, come on now.
Yeah.
I remember being at college.
There's women who can't move and then you're like, come on.
Yeah, like, yeah, I definitely don't want to suffocate in jealousy.
But it just shows how
but like the odd little bit like, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, even just I remember being at college and obviously at college, what are you like? 16 to 18, so it's like height of like hormones and like all the guys and all the girls and you know and all of that. And I remember like I had quite good boobs then.
Yeah,
not gonna lie.
You still have good boobs now.
Not too bad, but back then was even obviously better. And I remember somewhat. I can't even remember how it came up, but the conversation came up about page 3, and Liam was like, "Yeah, I wouldn't mind if you did that."
Oh.
I'm like, so imagine the lads in college opening up a newspaper and having a picture of me in college. That wouldn't bother you. And he's like, No, I'd be like, that's my wife or girlfriend.
Yeah.
Like at the time, you know,
that's the sort of proud thing of you'd expect off a mature, like, you know, older man,
not a 17-year-old like who've been together 6 months, a year. But
like you say, if you did get that jealousy kind of overload,
I'd hate it.
You would, wouldn't you?
I definitely am glad that his mindset is like, oh yeah, look at her, she's my wife. Like, yeah, dress hot, like look your best, like that's my wife. I'm definitely glad that is the vibe.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, just a little bit of he needs to watch himself. You know, every now and then would be quite nice. Who gives better surprises?
Mitch.
Yeah,
I'm shit in my relationship, actually. I don't know.
No, you need to make more effort, Charlotte.
Yeah, no. What about you?
I think we're quite tied, but for different things. That I'm more of like a big gesture kind of surprise. Like one Valentine's, I did book us flights to Dubai. This was when Kayson was really small.
Yeah,
but that was mainly because we knew we wanted to go, so I just used that as here's the tickets kind of thing. Whereas like even for my birthday just gone, Liam got me Ugg slippers, but in my head I thought he was going to get me the Ugg like trainer things that I quite liked. But he got me slippers and I'd be like, oh, they're expensive slippers. Like I would have been happy with like H&M slippers or Primark slippers. But I wear them every fucking day. I'm so glad that he got me them and not the other things. Yeah. So yeah, like in some things him.
I have done, maybe I'm just forgetting. I have done loads of different surprises.
It's hard, over the years.
But maybe I just feel like because I get a lot too that it is him. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. But no, I'll just say straight off, I'd say Mitch, I think is
what topic are you opposites on that you don't agree on?
Agree on?
Yeah. Something where you're on different pages. So for us, the only thing I can really think of quickly is private school. So Liam thinks it's a waste of money, whereas I think it actually can be worth it.
God, I don't know. What do we know?
Not university, private school.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. I don't know, there's not much we don't agree on, to be fair.
Yeah, we're pretty much on the same page.
I have to get back to you if we have a debate over something now. I really will, because there will be something.
Yeah.
There will be. I feel like the kids need to be here in this game. Yeah.
Who made the first move?
Oh, move. I'm going to say it was Mitch, just because how I was then. Probably still am now. Like,
I'm gonna wait. Prudy. Yeah.
But I know when I first see Mitch, he probably didn't have a clue, and I was like, he's going to be my boyfriend.
I picked you, but I made you work for it.
Yeah, like literally, I literally remember seeing him riding off, and I was literally like, that boy there, he's going to be my boyfriend.
Yeah.
And then, that was that.
I think we were quite the same, to be fair, because, we'd actually walked past each other before, but I didn't know this till years later. Because I remember being with a friend of ours at Washington, a good old bar we used to hang out at, and he was with another friend of ours that I did know, and I remember like having to double take, but I didn't realise that was him until ages later, because he was like, I swear I met you at Washington. I was like, oh, was that you that day? So we knew that ages like after.
Yes.
But on the day we technically properly met, which was my 16th birthday, obviously clocked in, was like, yeah. But I never really had a boyfriend. I was quite timid and that kind of stuff. But I think after a couple of drinks, I was a bit like,
you would have been after a few drinks.
But he was quite closed off, and I couldn't read him. So I was like, does he like me? Does he not like me? So I remember talking to friends of ours, and they were like, oh, he's just like that, but I think he likes you. I remember talking to him outside for a bit. So I don't really know who made the first move, because we did have a little kiss, but I can't remember who went in for it. But I will say that I don't know why I had our friend's phone on me. So a girl that was there that night, I had her phone for some reason. I put it in his pocket, and as we were leaving for the night, and to be fair, everyone went back to his house for an after party and I didn't. I think I was a bit nervous, what could potentially happen. So I was a bit like, no, I'm not going back to his house. But I remembered as I was leaving, her phone, and then I went, oh no, I need a reason to reach back out. So that's technically a move.
Yeah, that is a bit of a move. That's
so I'm not sure who lent in for the kiss. Maybe him. But I definitely set it up. Yeah, but we'd have to talk again.
I would say Mitch would have made the first move just because of how he is.
Yeah.
Mitch would have definitely put it on me straight away. Straight away. I'm sure our first kiss was through the fence of school.
That rings a bell.
Because I think I probably came up to the roof. Oh my God, I just kissed him.
Yeah, because we did used to walk over to the fence and speak to a couple of them.
Yeah, he used to bring me a bottle of Ribena, didn't he? A pack of Mentos.
There you go. That's nice.
True love.
Thoughtful gifts. Who's more affectionate? I'd say Liam probably actually is.
Affectionate. Probably Mitch again, to be fair.
Is there anything we are?
I know. Why are they still with us? I'm joking. We're doing something right.
Clearly.
No,
I just can't tell you what.
I think in all of it, to be honest, in most of it, we would bounce off in what we would need.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? But if it was needed, you know, like if I didn't need to be more affectionate to him in, you know, just of the day of, because of that week, how it's gone or whatever it is. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think we would probably, you know, kind of evaluate.
Sometimes you read each other and you
more of a
stand
cuddle.
it. Yeah.
But you know, at least 2 times a day, me and Mitch end up kind of just meeting somewhere in the house, you know, like where we're kind of crossing.
Yeah.
Stop, have a hug.
Yeah.
The hug lasts like a
proper hug.
good 20, 30 seconds. Nothing gets said. He either kisses me on the head, we give a kiss, and then we carry on. I was probably going to get the washing out or whatever.
I do like a kiss on the head. That is a nice little thing.
I'm very like on my head.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah. I think I did hear once that is like a proper, there's a spiritual thing about people, like human beings. Like, I can't remember exactly what it is, but it is linked to something. Like the animal instinct in us, it's a meaningful
caring.
It's like, I don't know if it's like looking into you kind of thing.
I do.
Yeah.
I like.
Yeah, it's weird that's just a thing. Like that is a good.
By Mitch, obviously, not just like by anyone. Don't kiss me on the head.
Yeah.
I'll headbutt you.
Yeah, exactly. Partners only. Best date ever.
Oh God, I can't remember any of the bleeding justice now. You're putting it on me now.
Really hard.
Fucking hell.
This is really hard.
Best date? I'm not gonna lie. I probably could. I couldn't tell you any. Not let alone my best date.
Yeah, it's really hard.
Again, we're not like a big date kind of.
We don't make it a thing of naming it as a date, but yeah, there's plenty of nights we've gone out and done things together.
Yeah.
Like even a couple times it was before Hayden, so it was a couple of years ago. On a random, when Kayson would stay out, it'd be like, "Oh, let's go for a drink and a dance," and we'd be passion.
That was
really. I loved that.
I loved you doing that.
Yeah, like just going for a dance together.
That was
kind of like together.
What's the word? This inspiring is the right word, but you know what I mean? Like, oh my God, that is so cool. Why don't we do that?
I know. And it was like 10:30 and we're like, fuck it, should we go out?
Exactly.
We had to actually wait for Passion to open. We had to go and have a drink in a bar to wait for Passion to open. Then we went for a little boogie. So that was nice. And obviously I think about like being on holiday, but I don't think you date on holiday. I think you do date things.
I think that's what I was thinking, and we're always away. I don't feel like that's a date thing.
No, that's when you're on holiday. You do those things,
isn't it? You do those things.
I did like the cinema one because that was more of like a surprise that he kept all day.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I say, there's. Yes,
I feel like I'm gonna. The minute I'm gonna bring Mitch.
Yeah.
What have we done?
Yeah, it's so much, but it is like I say, it's really hard to remember everything. And especially when we do these pods, it's like, oh God, I should have said that.
Yeah, and nothing is ever prepped. So clearly, I'm like, oh, let me have a little look. Yeah. It's just like shit. We've had lovely dates, by the way. I can't think of any, and I can't think.
Well,
of the
clearly,
best.
you spend a lot of quality time together, so you definitely have.
That's our thing. I'm struggling to wonder how I'm going to get through my 3-day hen. So we're never away from each other. I was like, you're not just going to stay like
down the road.
Just wait pop out to get back. He was like, no.
Right, one to finish on. When did you feel most proud of your partner?
Oh, my most proudest moment. Again, I keep saying this, and I will, because it's quite a deep subject. I still feel proud of my partner. Mitch got through. What's the alcoholism?
Yeah.
And it was hard on all of us as a family, as a partner, as a parent, as a whatever. Do you know what I mean? It was hard on everyone, but even harder on him.
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean? He was in it, he was doing it. And I am so proud of him every day.
Yeah.
For I don't know, probably just finally realising what was happening and actually doing something about it.
Yeah.
I'm really trying. and really sticking to it and realizing that he feels better, we're all better from it, and that he's still going from that, and actually people now come to him for advice. And that's my biggest, proudest moment of my partner every day. Every single day.
I agree. Hats off to me.
That's mine. Definitely.
Really
that was definitely an easy one straight.
Easy.
Definitely.
The first easy one.
All the other ones I don't know. Sorry, babe, but well done.
Oh God, that's a hard question, because like I say, you probably like miss out something really big because there's just so much when you've spent 20 years together. But maybe when we come back to Spain and he started his business. Because for those of you that would have known Liam beforehand, I mean, I would have to call the Chinese takeaway because he wouldn't talk on the phone. So to then start a business where you're putting yourself out there, first of all, taught yourself even how to do the business. And then putting yourself out there, answering phones, messages, meeting people. Like now, for some of you that know him recently, be like, that would never have been Liam, because he's just not like that anymore. He's completely changed. Like he'll talk to the neighbours, very, very different. Whereas he wouldn't actually call a takeaway.
So actually sorry, I didn't want to forget the point. And for the point of what he's doing it for, he's doing it to make you two and your lives in Spain successful. You know what I mean?
Because he could have stayed doing a crappy job that he was doing
while
he
wasn't
started his
happy,
business.
so that what would never have worked, would it? You live in here, but you're not happy, so what's the point?
Exactly. So it takes a lot, and even like doing this and doing the coaching and trying to start something, it takes a lot of courage to put yourself out there. And
that for you was your I'd say that's fair.
Because it wasn't natural to him. Like,
no,
he
like
definitely
you
had
say,
to push through.
It was probably, I don't want to use the word nice now. It was nice nice and proud to watch him go out there and come out of his shell, because you would see that side, but then when it would come to somebody else, you'd be like, where's my Liam, kind of thing, in a way, Exactly. And now he's come out of his shell, and he's so he's not so out there, but he's more out there than he ever was. For
definitely.
you as his wife.
It,
like you say, looking at him, so proud of you.
And that's a turn on.
Pushing, exactly.
No, definitely.
Exactly
like you say, him, and just being able to take charge and take control and have his thing. Like, it's nice that he's got his thing. And when you're in a relationship, and it happens to a lot of women, you see it, and I think we probably a little bit like that at the beginning, where you do everything for them, which I think is just the women in us. But sometimes you go a bit too far, to the point that you end up having like another child.
Well, exactly.
I mean, we were kids.
I actually think I mentioned this to Mason's girlfriend. Sorry, Rosa. Like, stop doing everything for him. You're just making your own thing.
It's hard because, like I said, you want to do that.
It's different. Then.
You want to do that for them. So, but
so
it's only as an adult.
Pile of clothes, knowing that she comes on a whatever day and knows that she'll be like, I'll hang them up for you. I'm like, Rosa, don't do it.
It's hard because there are things that you love to do for your partner, but when you're an adult, you're like, I see how those things turn into big things, But like, it's nice just having a partner that can make dinner reservations, that can book us a holiday, that can, look after the kids without a list. All those things really make a difference. And obviously, we met young, so he's definitely come into his own. So very proud.
Good. Well done.
Well done, boys. Yeah. So there's your Valentine's Day episode.
I hope you have a lovely weekend, whatever you do. Whether it's with family, friends, partners, little dirty weekend away, you never know. Whatever you do, and I hope it is lovely. We have a Valentine's giveaway, actually.
We do.
We will make obviously a clip separate to this, but just to know, we are doing a Valentine's giveaway of a Love Bond pair bracelet for partners, friends, whatever. I'll get all the information up.
So that's basically where you put the bracelet on and you fix it on so it doesn't come off.
That's it.
And there's a pair.
That's it. So there is a pair. So we'll get all the
details. So it's love
out.
related.
It is love related.
But you have to show us some love. So you have to follow our page, The Rising 1111, Charlotte's page, my page. Give us a like on, this clip, for example,
on their
comment
post.
5 friends that you want to share the love to.
Exactly that. Comment, tag, get it out. And then we'll
pick a winner.
Pull a lucky, lovely winner.
Right. Well, keep an eye out and good luck on winning the gift, the prize.
Yeah.
Bye.
Love you all.
Love.